Hey there, welcome to another episode of the Missional Money Podcast. Actually, this episode is not an episode. It is actually a, we're going live from the Stephen F. Austin State Park where we have an ice storm. So I hope you're staying warm where you are. I'm going to just start the live video now, and I'll see you next week. Okay, welcome to another beautiful, gorgeous day at the Stephen F. Austin State Park. I don't know if you can tell, but it's a different kind of day here at the Stephen F. Austin State Park. And yes, this is ice on the seat of my KLR 650. The old Kawasaki is just not used to ice. Took me about a gallon of hot water to get it started. The key was all frozen up, and it rained last night, and then it froze early this morning, and I had quite the experience. I stayed in the park. Connie went back to the house, and so here I am. And when I woke up this morning, I had a really good plan to keep. Brakes are frozen. This is probably not the best idea I ever had, but I want to show you the park. Connie wants to see the park. She, I'm sure, didn't consider the fact that yes, I would want to take the KLR. This is probably not the smartest thing I ever did. So if something really crazy happens, you'll see it, because this is live from the Stephen F. Austin State Park. And I've got the 360 camera going on back there. I've got my nice warm hat on. Got 2, 3, 4 shirts on. Not nearly enough under my keister because this seat is cold. It will warm up eventually. If I was on my Goldwing, it has heated hand grips and heated seats, but when I'm in the park, this is the way to go. My hands are freezing. They're literally frozen, and these gloves, they're Connie's gloves. They're too small, they're very tight, and they're only just leather gloves. They're not at all insulated. So this may be the very shortest icicles. And yeah, I'm looking for trees and limbs that are down. We have so many limbs and trees that were already down. It's a little difficult to immediately see what might have fallen last night or this morning. What is certainly easy and instant is the ice cold feeling I have on my keister at the moment in my inner thighs. This is not a pleasant experience by any stretch. So it looks like the 360 camera is running. So that means we'll get a 360 view of the park, as well as me talking into this little action camera. I want to terribly, wickedly cold. But when you're sitting on a frozen block of ice with some rather thin, they're not even blue jeans, I'm wearing gym pants or whatever. So too much information, I know, but you're with me on this journey. Oh no, I'm going through a big puddle of water. That's not good. I didn't even think about that. Okay, now here I am in the RV loop, and it's not very full. I'm not going to go all the way around it either. Oh, I don't want to stall. I don't want to go fast. I don't want to stop. I don't want to stall. I want to go home and drink my coffee. I just made coffee. I had a little experience this morning, Connie. I'll tell you about it. So I have a plan. I had a plan. I stayed here because, well, I didn't really want to have to totally winterize the RV, so I figured I'd just stay and keep the heat on and keep the water dripping. That's generally my plan. And I filled up the generator, ran the generator to make sure that it was ready to run. Even went and got some ethanol-free gasoline, filled up my tank. So I've got a full tank of ethanol-free gasoline, got 3 tanks of propane. Hooked the propane up to the RV, which I never do. Man, my foot pegs are frozen, like icy. This is, oh, look at the deer. You guys, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deer. I wish my camera was pointed at them, but the 360 camera's pointing at them. This is, by the way, Connie, as you remember, this is Site 2 here to my right. It is now occupied by Dave and Susan Coor. They're from Kansas. They're super nice people, new friends. We had them over for dinner the other night. Look at those deer just standing there looking at me. Okay, here's a tree that fell down. Anyway, that's site number 2. I'm sorry I'm so scattered in these videos, but I promise if you were on a motorcycle driving through the park like I'm doing now, you'd be distracted too. So please forgive me. I'll be, as Connie always says, I'll be glorious in my next life. I think that means I'll be more clear as well and be able to make videos that have actual points. This is not one of those videos. I'm not trying to teach anything, just showing you the park. But that was site number 2, our favorite site. And what was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say about site number 2. Something about it being cold. Anyway, now I'm going to run through. I'm not going to go through the. I'm not going to go through the primitive site because, as far as I know, we don't have anyone in the primitive site. Here we go on another little trail. I don't want to stop. So my plan last night was, whoa. My plan last night was to stay in the RV, keep the water running whenever the temperatures got below freezing. So I went to bed, it was like 40 degrees, and I checked the temperature, and 3 in the morning I got awoken by this super loud thunderstorm, and one thunderclap in particular. And it was 3:40 or something like that in the morning, and I checked the weather, and it was 36 degrees, so I thought we were all good. And I slept till 7 or so, and when I woke up, I looked at the weather, and it said we were 29, so I immediately checked to see if the water was still running, working, and it was not. It was frozen. I wouldn't say it was frozen solid, but it was frozen, and so, bummer. That was the whole point. I had hooked up the propane heater, which I never do, because we don't usually need it here in Texas. But I did want to heat the underbelly of the RV, keep it warm so the pipes didn't freeze. But I wasn't running the heat because it wasn't cold enough. That was only for if it got under freezing, which it did during the night, early in the morning, which I didn't expect. The weather didn't predict that. It wasn't supposed to get this cold until later today. It's supposed to stay this cold. So anyway, I had frozen pipes. Hopefully nothing got broken. But what I had to do was take a tarp and put it over the spigot, and I put a little heater under it and covered it up with that tarp, let it run for about 10 minutes, and then the water started running, so it's working now. And I'm gonna go in and get warm because this is what you call sacrificial love right here. Like I'm giving you a gift. You are seeing, I don't know if you can see the roof over there. It's covered with ice. You're gonna see my truck covered with ice. I mean, this is like a Michigan ice storm. Look at that. It is, ooh, when I put the brake on, they stick because they're frozen. Yeah, I should probably park this and never ever do that again. Okay, so here we go. Put it in neutral. I hope it went in neutral. Put the kickstand down. Now I'm going to turn it off, go inside where it's warm. Yeah. If I can find this, my fingers are so frozen. Okay, here we go. This is take 2. changed my clothes, got some warmer clothes on. I need to really finish checking out the park. So welcome to part 2 of Welcome to another beautiful day at the Stephen F. Austin State Park. Although this is the kind of beautiful that we're not used to. So if you're in the northern part of the country, oh no. Everything's frozen, sticking. May not be a good idea. Probably not any better of an idea than it was last time I tried this earlier this morning. The difference is I've got better pants on. So hopefully, these are insulated actually. The only winter work pants I own. So I figured why not put some airproof, airtight clothes on. We're gonna go see if we can make it through the rest of the park without having an accident. And one other amenity I want to mention, if I can get on the road first, I'll show you just in a second if I can navigate this start. So this is coffee. The cup is frozen, but the coffee's hot. I'm not sure how hot it's going to be by the time I get this site check done, but we will see. Oh, the tush feels so much better than it did before. Parts of me, though, are still freezing. I know you don't care about that, but you do care about this beautiful scenery. So what we're looking for, really, trees down. There are no rangers in the park. Headquarters has closed today, tomorrow. Today is Sunday, I guess. Today's Sunday. By the way, if you're looking for another episode of the Missional Money Podcast, I hate to tell you, oh, there's a bird. Big bird. I've never seen one of those down. It looks like it's one of those vultures. I wonder what happened to him. Surely he didn't just freeze. Maybe he tried to fly with too much ice on his wings. Like I'm gonna try and turn around. Man, that's crazy. I've never seen that. Never seen one of those birds be dead. There's so many of them. Yesterday I saw that those are vultures, but yesterday I think I saw like 5 hawks. Everywhere I went I saw, I mean, it could have been the same one a couple of times. A big, beautiful hawk. They're very prolific around here. We have them in our neighborhood in Friendswood as well. I love hawks. One day I saw, it's ice. I just broke an ice cube on an ice on my knee. Anyway, I'll ramble less. Okay, let's go check the rest of the park. I think I'm going to try second gear. Man, everything's frozen. It's not going to get any warmer today or tomorrow. Tuesday, I think it's going to get warmer in the late part of the day. But I'm concerned I probably won't have internet. Maybe, but it may not be very fast. I should have gone home, but yeah, I didn't. Right now, at this moment, I'm glad I'm here because otherwise I wouldn't be able to see this, and neither would you. And I'm making this video for Connie, and I'm going to post it as a replacement for the Missional Money Podcast. By the way, if you haven't been following along, we're doing weekly episodes live from the Stephen F. Austin State Park for the most part, and the wildlife is out here. Oh, by the way, this week we won't have an episode because of the storm. I've just got too many other things I need to attend to. Up ahead, hopefully you'll get to see this, but it is a flock of those buzzards, those vultures. I wish I could turn my camera around and show you. The 360 camera should be picking this up. I've never seen them on the road like this. And this is a lot of vultures. I think they have trouble flying when they have ice on their wings. That's what it is. Check that out. They can't fly. Whoa, that's what it is. They've got ice on their wings and they can't fly. So they're just doing their best to fly. That's what happened to that bird. I don't mean to scare you guys. Just look at that. That's what it is. They have ice all over themselves, so they can't fly. I hope you got to see that. I wish I could turn this camera around, but the 360's going, so it should have picked that up pretty well. I'll be eager to see how that footage comes out. That was just fascinating. A little sad, I guess, because, you know, birds, they're supposed to fly, and those birds are usually way up in the sky, circling around, looking for something to eat. Okay, here we go. This is the primitive loop, and like I said earlier today, if you missed that first part of this Stephen F. Austin Stephen F. Austin State Park. I used to be a State Farm agent, so State and State Farm kind of in my brain, they still go together. But this is another look at the winter storm of 2026 at the Stephen F. Austin State Park. I wouldn't really call it a winter storm, but it did get below freezing, which is unusual. And what makes it even more unusual is I just saw a killdeer. Those are beautiful little, not so little birds. Having a cramp in my foot. So yeah, I wouldn't call this a winter storm. Now those crows over there, they seem to have no trouble flying. Maybe because they, I don't know, maybe their wings move faster. That was just weird. There's another vulture in a tree just sitting there low. I think it's a vulture. Anyway, yeah, I wouldn't call this a winter storm, but we did have freezing temperatures, which is unusual. And what's even more unusual is to have precipitation while we have freezing temperatures. And we had both of those things last night, which is why everything's coated with ice. And you can't really see it like I think because these trees have so much Spanish moss on them, you don't see the ice like you do in some places. I'm curious, what do you guys have where you are? I hope you'll send some pictures. If you posted a video on YouTube, drop a link in the comments, and I'd love to see your videos. Maybe I'll share them in a quick episode or a quick video. This isn't really an episode. This is just a replacement clip. Have another sip of hot coffee. I'm starting to get very cold, so I'm gonna get this machine back to the park, to the site, and I'm going to go in and finish my coffee where it's warm. That cup, it's hot coffee on the inside, but it's ice cold on the outside. My lips don't know what to do with that. Okay, so here we go. I should keep my legs away from the tank because the tank is covered with ice. Everything's covered with ice. I couldn't even put my phone on the holder here because it's just one solid thing of ice. Okay, some more vultures. Hey, that one's getting up a little bit. Boy, those crows have no trouble getting up. Now these over here, these vultures are getting up. Not sure what this guy's doing. I think he's probably just looking at the birds. Not sure if he wants me to stay or go. How are you? Do what?
How are things out there?
Everything's good. I haven't even seen any trees down or even really any branches. The only thing I've seen that's odd is there's a whole bunch of vultures who can't fly, and there's a dead one laying in the road over there, which is weird. I've never seen that. They're just covered with ice. And they can't fly, but they couldn't. And then I realized they had ice. So I'll send you pictures. Sorry about that. Yeah, see, they're having trouble getting up, and if you get close to them, you'll see they've got ice sheets.
Yeah, and you can hear it too.
Yeah, yeah. I got to get home because I am freezing.
Okay. Bye.
Good to see you.
Well, good to see you.
I have the radio on, so if you need anything, holler.
I have my radio on for a little while because the battery's kind of low, but I was gonna go check. But
Yep,
thank you.
everything's good.
Good. Thanks.
Okay, that was the boss. That was Marcy. She is the boss of this place. I don't see her a whole lot, Marcy. I mean, she's usually at the office, but I bump into her out here in the park every once in a while. Nice to see you, Marcy. So anyway, that was an interesting little interaction. She was up. Well, you heard. She's out looking at the birds. She's going to take a picture now, so I'm going to let her. Yeah, there's some more birds up yonder. Go get your picture. Go get your picture. They're still up there on the road. Thanks. Yeah, the birds are out. She wants a picture too. I did not expect to see any management folks in the park today, but now it's crazy because that he's flying no problem. But most of them are just having trouble getting off the ground. And I don't know. Sad. There he is, just keeps trying to go. That's going to be interesting footage though, so I'm going to go back to the house where it's warm and see if I can throw together a video, and then if I have any internet, I'll pop it onto YouTube where there's one just sitting in a tree. They don't usually hang out this low to earth. They're usually up high in the trees or up high in the sky. So that's interesting. So here we go back to, my feet are freezing. Like I'm wearing Adidas tennis shoes. Not the type of gear you want to have. So, what can I say other than, there's this dead bird up in the road again. Big vulture. I should probably remove him, but I don't have a shovel and I'm not going to use my feet. I should, since I told her I checked the park, I should scoot over into the rest of the, yeah, I'm going to do that. Since I told her I checked, I want to make sure that the other side of the loop is good. Look at those trees. That's going to make a cool little piece of video, maybe. Whoa, okay, here we go. This is the back side of the RV loop, which I did not check earlier. Looking for trees, branches, anything that might have broken from the ice. The weight of the ice creates a lot of potential. With these trees are very brittle. We've had a pretty dry season, I guess. I'm really not even sure if that's true, but that's what I was told. And I definitely know that the trees are brittle. I'm not sure why, but they are. And this extra weight during winter, when they're brittle, can be a problem. So there's Rich. Looks like he's got his engine running. Maybe he just had his generator running. Something was running. Probably something to do with heat. Gosh, these gloves are worthless. So I didn't go back here and check the, there's a section in the very back of this park called the screened-in enclosure. When we do site check, this is all part of the site check. So since I told Marcy everything was good in the park, I want to make sure that that is true, and if it's not, I need to let her know if we have any problems. But I do not see any problems. Everything seems to have fared just fine. So for this episode, this non-episode video, this replacement episode of the Missional Money Podcast, looks like my camera came down. Yep. That's good. I should probably fix that. Okay. I think that's right. I hate it when that happens. Ooh, I can't even tell. Every time I stop, my glasses fog up. But when I go, they unfog. I have instant defrost and defog. Okay, I don't remember what I was saying. Maybe I was saying this is generally the time of the week that I work on an episode of the Missional Money Podcast. Last week on the Missional Money Podcast, I told you about the blueprint for financial success, and I promised you 7 more episodes, each one focusing on a different element of the financial planning process. I shared with you a thing called 3TIC, which is just an acronym that I use to put the financial planning presentation in place with the training I've done with financial advisors over the years who are trying to learn how to do financial planning. So I told you about all that last week when I introduced you to the blueprint for financial success, and I promised you that the next 7 episodes would include each element of the financial planning process, along with the ultimate financial planning checklist for each of those elements. And I will do that, but it's going to have to be delayed. So I'm working on it. It's not like those episodes just, it takes a little work, a little planning. And I've been doing all that. It's just that the production, I do it on the weekends. And this weekend, as you can see, kind of tied up with things that who knows what's next. And it's probably going to be a couple of days before things get back to normal. But for now, I'm going to park this KLR 650, go in. I'm probably going to make more coffee. I hate to tell anybody, especially you, Connie, that I'm going to waste coffee, but I want a hot, fresh, delicious cup of coffee. And I also want to get my bike into neutral. There we go, neutral. It's on the pad. I think I'm going to leave the key in it. Don't tell anybody. Brr. Okay, so now I'm going to turn off my camera.
Okay, so that's going to do it for this week. I'll see you next week. I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to hit the little like button if you're watching on YouTube or LinkedIn, either one. Appreciate it. I'm going to sign off. I hope that this live stream worked because we're having a little trouble with the internet here. So stay warm. Have a great day. I'll see you next week live from the Stephen F.